Joining us now to discuss is Andre Portillo. He's the head of digital assets at Brazilian investment bank BTG Pactual. Andre, great to have you on the show. In January, we saw Bitcoin rally. A bit of profit taking on Monday, but seems to be over the $23,000 threshold now. What does your outlook for February look like?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here, Christine. I think it's important for us to take a look of these last rally, specifically since the beginning of the year. The markets were way higher. Bitcoin is one of the best assets in times of performance. But so far, it's been this crypto rally. It's been a part of a more broader asset appreciation in a risk-on movement this year. Okay, so if you take equities are higher, S&P, Nasdaq, and mainly if you look to the tech ones, they are some even higher than the moves in crypto. So it's important to have that as a overall scenario, especially because we still very correlated in crypto to the overall macro things that happen in the broader economy. Right now, the market seems to have a more, I would say, a clear view of peak rates and peak inflation for the Fed, and that's what's the main driver for this rally. So I think probably most of what we will be seeing the next months, in my opinion, will still be tied to these macro views. Okay, again, looks like we are reaching peak interest rates by the Fed, inflation as well, but there's still some doubts in the horizon regarding, okay, will we have a recession? If we are going to have a recession, how strong it will be? We had a non-farm payrolls last Friday, and it was way out of a recession fears, but the market still looking into that. So I think we'll still have to have a close eye on the macro things.
How is it being traded? How is it being used in Brazil?
Brazil is a very interesting country, Christine, because and even if you look in crypto as a whole, it's very interesting to look to Latin America, because if you move from country to country, we can pretty much see very different uses of crypto as a whole in Bitcoin. Okay, if you go, for instance, to countries like Mexico or El Salvador, people use a lot for remittances. If you go to Argentina or Venezuela, where the countries are into hyper inflation scenarios, people use crypto, and specifically Bitcoin, as a way out of their sovereign currencies. And in Brazil, people look way more for investment and speculation. So there's a strong view that, crypto is a new technology, and together with this new technology comes a new asset class, and people basically use in their asset locations to gain capital appreciation over time. And last year, of course, was a tough year for overall crypto, but still we have, and it's interesting because even with the terrible year that we had last year, we didn't see, at least here at BTG, a shrink in demand for clients to understand what's happening, from clients wanting to start engaging crypto, clients wanting to understand what are the best instruments that can engage, if it's through funds, ETFs, or even investing direct in crypto. So, and in Brazil right now, we have, in the end of last year, we have these regulation passing in the Congress. Was the first phase to have a sound regulation in Brazil. Now we're moving to the central bank to give them that detailment of the regulation, but the market's quite solid here.
Well, I just spoke about how Bitcoin is being used for NFTs and the Lightning Network for micropayments. Do you look at usage as a potential catalyst for driving Bitcoin in the future, or is it going to stick to the macroeconomic picture?
I think it's a mix of both, Christine. The problem is that we had a huge macro event last year. Okay, that was the increased interest rate with unprecedented pace. So when you have an event with that magnitude, it's hard to look to the let's say to the fundamental specifics of each asset. But of course, on the long run, the fundamentals will prevail. So and this macro, as soon as these, let's say, more macro thing with the Fed goes more into, let's say, a normal pace, people will pay more and more attention in the fundamentals. Okay, so right now we have this huge, let's say, first rally that is recoupling from the lows that we've seen. To move beyond that, we'll need to see not only a more clear view on the macro overall scenario, but also in the specific fundamentals with each crypto, with each project. Okay? And I think, well, these things that we're seeing with NFTs in Bitcoin, I think, well, the more, pure Bitcoin guys, they complain, but I think that's the beauty of technology. Okay, the technology is open, is permissionless, so people can use for whatever they want. That's the beauty of it.